I'm on a mission to review and rank every single episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars, and I'm not stopping until it is done. I'm of course talking about the critically acclaimed 3D computer animated Star Wars anthology series that first aired in 2008 and ended in 2020. Not to be confused with Star Wars Clone Wars, the 2D animated micro series that was released in 2003. I'm watching and reviewing every single episode in the official release order to keep things simple and ranking each episode as I go along. When all is said and done, I'll have a complete and comprehensive ranking of every episode from the entire series. So to make sure you don't miss a single episode, like this video and subscribe to the channel to ensure you stay on this journey with me. There will be spoilers for today's featured episode, so viewers beware. Now, on to today's episode. Today we are looking at episode 4 from season 2 titled Senate Spy. After the Republic begins to suspect that Senator Rush Clovis is secretly working with separatists, they ask Padme Amidala, who was once very close to Clovis, to spy on the senator to confirm their suspicions. Padme, with Anakin Skywalker escorting her, travels to Cato Nemoidia with Clovis to meet the Trade Federation, where she discovers that Clovis is secretly helping to fund a droid factory for Count Dooku. Padme steals the plans to the factory, but not before she is poisoned by the Trade Federation in an attempt to use her against Clovis. In the end, Anakin and Clovis work together to get the antidote from the Trade Federation. Anakin takes Padme and the plans back to Coruscant and leaves Clovis behind to deal with the consequences of his actions. Senate Spy kicks off the longest arc Clone Wars ever had with an episode that gives us a break from the action in favor of some political intrigue. I used to really hate episodes like this when I was younger because I just wasn't interested in the politics of Star Wars. In fact, it still doesn't make me overly giddy even now, but I will say that I can appreciate episodes like this more now that I am older. That being said, I'm still not overly impressed with this episode, but let's start with what I do like. I like how this episode shines a spotlight on Anakin and Padme, and it isn't afraid to highlight the weaker aspects of their relationship, specifically Anakin's over-emotional states and his jealousy. That being said, Anakin is a really shitty boyfriend in this episode. He doesn't trust Padme with Clovis, he tries to bar her from going on this vital mission, and he's just extremely childish about the whole situation. Don't get me wrong, it is funny to see this play out. Seeing Anakin in such a grouchy mood for the whole episode is very funny, and I love how he spends the entire episode just messing with Clovis, and then tops it all off by leaving him to face the Trade Federation alone. Anakin can be a very petty person, and honestly this episode makes him look like a total knobhead. But it does make for an interesting dynamic when he is forced to work with him at the end of the episode after Padme is poisoned, so there is that. Padme obviously shines in this episode. She gives the Republic a major victory by stealing the droid factory plans, and she plays Clovis like a fool. The show also just does a very good job of making you hate Clovis. He just comes across as an arrogant asshole, and Anakin's urge to strangle him is passed directly onto the audience. You love to hate him, but there isn't a whole lot to him beyond that. Additionally, there are a few weak points in this episode that really drag the whole thing down. I really don't understand why Padme gives Anakin such a hard time over his Jedi duties. Like, I get he's been away for what is probably months, and he is called away again after they just get to spend some time together. But the fact is, Anakin dodges Obi-Wan's calls for most of the night, yet that just isn't good enough for Padme, and she holds it against him for the entire episode. It's a little unfair considering that Padme constantly takes digs at Anakin for distracting her from work during the entire series. Speaking of Anakin and Padme, Anakin continues to do an awful job of hiding their relationship from everybody. He takes way too much interest in Padme's personal life in front of the Jedi Council, and doesn't exactly hide how he feels about Padme having a past relationship with someone else. It's obvious that Obi-Wan knows, and it's like I've previously said, I'm pretty sure that Anakin and Padme were just an open secret during the Clone Wars. Also, Clovis's highly secure password for his military plans is Padme. Not only is he an asshole, but apparently he is also a massive idiot. But beyond my major problems with the episode, there are some small things here that I do like. I love how R2 offers Anakin food while he is working on the ship. It's a very cute moment. Also, I love Obi-Wan's expression when Anakin starts to seem a little too interested in Padme in front of the other Jedi. It's so clear that Obi-Wan knows all about his little romance, but I've always believed that Obi-Wan did nothing about it because he had a similar affair when he was Anakin's age. Don't worry, that's coming up this season too. Senate Spy is a weak weaker Clone Wars episode that marks the low point of Clone Wars' longest arc. While it's always nice to see some political intrigue to flesh out the wider universe, Padme's mission to spy on her past Flame Rush Clovis doesn't really do much to impress. Padme and Anakin act irrationally the whole episode, there isn't anything particularly thrilling to make up for the lack of action, and Clovis is a largely uninteresting personality. To put it bluntly, this isn't what we watch Clone Wars for. And that was Senate Spy. Ranking it against every other episode of Clone Wars I've reviewed so far, it currently sits at number 25. Will it hold this place? Only time will tell. And here is the complete ranking so far. That's me finished for this episode. Now, I want to hear from all of you. What's your personal review of this episode? Where would you rank it among every other episode of Clone Wars? Let me know in the comments below after you've liked the video and subscribed. I'll see you guys next time with another Clone Wars episode review and ranking. Until then, thank you for watching. As always, look after yourselves, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video.